Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to your Rangers Review Team News reaction video, the first of the new season ahead of the match against Club Brugge at Ibrox this afternoon. Joshua Barry is in the press room for us. How's it going, Joshua?
Good. Cannot believe we're back, Derek, but it is it's nice to be back and looking forward to seeing what Rangers might do. I suspect you'll see quite a tired Rangers team going by what Russell Martin's been speaking about and the various or the interviews he's done with Rangers TV over the past week. But lots of unknowns, so looking forward to getting into the afternoon.
Yeah, many thanks to those of you that corrected me from Friday's show when I said it was Star Wars Day. Of course, it's May the 4th, not July the 4th. I was getting mixed up with Independence Day. So thank you to you all for bombarding me with the corrected date and what it means. But we shall move on. Now, let's get the team up because it certainly sparked a lot of debate. I chuckled at some of the comments that have already came in. John says, what's that team all about? Shambles. So let's get it up.
Give him a chance, John. Come on. It's only pre-season.
So the Rangers lineup, let's go through it then. Kelly in goal, back four, Max Aarons, and importantly as well, taking the number 3 jersey. What does that mean for Ridvan Yilmaz, who's on the bench this afternoon? Leon King and Robin Propper, the two centre-backs. I actually thought that could be the centre-back pairing. I think it was yesterday when I was thinking what the team could be. So King and Propper at centre-half, Jeffy on the left, Connor Barron skippers the side alongside Nico Raskin. Kieran Dill starts as well. Finlay Curtis and Oscar Cortez. It remains to be seen which one of those will be on the right and left, with Danilo through the middle. On the bench for Rangers this afternoon, Butland, Munn, Tavernier, Diamande, Ridvan, Bayrami, Fernandez, McCausland, Rice, Gentles, and Hutton. Joshua, your thoughts on today's team? I think when we discussed it on Friday, I very much expect it will be Russell Martin just having a look at certain players to see if they can maybe do a job for him this season, and maybe a team one half, a team for the second half, perhaps. Yeah,
it's 11 players on the bench, isn't it? So I'd expect that, barring maybe there's 2 goalkeepers. So aside from that, you'll see 10 changes to the team. Starting with the fact that Max Aarons is number 3, there'd been some murmurings about that. That's quite a statement. We've obviously spoken about Ridvan a fair amount in pre-season. He's not been readily available enough over this time at the club. We know that Rangers have been looking at a variety of left backs. Jeffy's expected to stay at the club. He takes number 33 and is on the bench. For some people, they'll think, well, do you know what? He's not. While he's been a good player in moments, he's not done it consistently enough. And I think Russell Martin does need to have a ruthless edge. You could say the same with the fact that his first signing was a right back. And obviously, I don't read too much to the fact that James Tavernier is on the bench today. But if he's going to be successful here, he's going to have to make big decisions. He's going to have to put a line in the sand at points. And that certainly seems like one. Aside from that, would expect, as you say, one of Curtis and Cortez off the right. Both have played that kind of narrow role. Cortez played it quite a lot for the Colombia under-23s in particular. Yeah. But I'd quite like to see him play with Jeffy, because that relationship in the about 20 minutes we saw of it last season seemed to work quite well. And then I'm surprised that Connor Barron takes the armband. Is that one of these wee nuances in pre-season that we should read into? As Guardian Zero says, why is Raskin not captain? Is it going to be a Barron at the base of midfield with 2 number 8s ahead of him, or Raskin at the base of midfield? And Danilo as well. A kind of long overdue start for him at Ibrox after getting a full pre-season for the first time since he came to the club. So yeah, lots to anticipate this afternoon, as much as you don't want to read too much into pre-season. But when it's a new manager, you're trying to identify what's been worked on, what's different. And certainly, while the outcome, who knows today, I think the inputs, what you'll see Rangers try to do, will be quite different from last season.
Barron's been captain before. Remember at Pitodri before Fernandez got injured and Tavernier had to come on and take the armband off him. So he's been skipper before. So interesting. I thought Raskin would have been the likely candidate for that one. A few comments coming in, you can imagine, about some of the personnel that are starting. Bill, as a word for those that are losing their mind over today's team, says some people need a chill pill and need to consider the context of this game. By the time Rangers kick off for real, I doubt that some of those individuals will be the starting personnel, put it that way. But I fully expect Butland or perhaps Mason Munn to get a half. Who knows? That back line, though, Max Aarons, we touched on there. What does it mean for Rid Van, him taking the number 3 jersey? What does it mean? I think we'll see James Tavernier in the second half, but I think we've discussed this. Aarons player before Joshua, and he's coming up to play football. I think he would be first choice at right back. I don't think that's an outlandish statement to make.
No, not at all. And it was interesting. People who have watched we need to not say interesting too much in pre-season. Everything's interesting, isn't it? Because we don't know what's going to happen. They're going to have to have some synonyms for that.
Banned from now on.
Yeah, banned from now on. Speaks very well and interesting are both banned of the Rangers review. So it remains to be seen. I don't know. But Aaron's interview, which people have seen released yesterday, was speaking ahead of this game. Without saying he spoke very well, he seemed quite focused in the fact that he referenced this is a loan deal that has to work. This is one that has to work for him. He referenced competing with James Tavernier. While he can play left back, he's not coming here to play left back throughout the season. Bournemouth haven't sanctioned this loan for him to play out of position. He's coming there to share the role, you'd imagine, but also compete. And he gives Rangers, and this is something that we'll speak about in the podcast this week, but with the arrival of Tello Asgard and Joe Rothwell, Max Aarons, before you even talk about the physicality and the size of the two centre-backs, Emmanuel Fernandez and Nasser Jika, who Rangers are close to an agreement with, those 3 players that they've signed already are players who can carry the ball, who are quite fast, who can progress it individually. I think if you watched Rangers last year, as we keep coming back to such a lack of players who could take individuals on one-on-one, felt so one-paced at points and one-dimensional. So you'd like to think that with Aarons in there, obviously no Rothwell or Asgard on the side today because they're a little bit behind, but you'd like to think that will make Rangers a little bit more of a dynamic team too, because they definitely lacked that last season.
Yep, I like this point from Darren. He says, Martin clearly rewarding hard work and giving fringe guys a chance. Certainly, I think Leon King, it's an opportunity for him if he can impress here, show what he's all about. He might be part of the squad going forward. And Finlay Curtis, I've said it before, I want to see a lot of him going forward. So it's a real chance for him to impress. Ditto Oscar Cortez, who we all know his injury problems that he's had at the club. Folks saying Igman and Dessers, of course, not in the squad. We very much expect them to be nearing the departure door, of course.
Well, I don't think about that. I think it's different, Derek, in that Igman, it's a matter of time. But Dessers still, as far as I'm aware, is anticipated back, and the discussion has been that unless Rangers get a bid of around about £5 million, of which they've had not a bid close to that from AEK Athens, he'll come back. So that's one to definitely watch throughout the remainder of the window. That bid could arrive at any moment in time. And it's interesting to see how Danilo, I've said interesting again, how Danilo does, because part of the argument with Dessers is you need him for the Champions League qualifiers. You need someone to help you get, even if it's only a case of getting into the Europa League. Rangers are not heavily stocked up there. So I think the timelines are different on those ones, and Igaman to Lille is much closer than Dessers is to a departure, as much as the fact remains that Athens are very keen on him, and that is something that could happen throughout the course of the summer transfer window.
Yeah, there's a point as well from Robert. It says, Dill, this could be something to worry about. I think Dill strikes me as the sort of player that could excel in our Russell Martin team. We'll find out more about him today, I guess, but certainly impressed down at Birmingham City. And he won't be short of admirers and teams that would like him in their side. But he's getting an opportunity this afternoon to start the game. The bench is interesting, of course, as well. Very excited to see Emmanuel Fernandez for the first time. I'm sure that will happen in that second half. It's a chance for some of the players to show what they're all about. And we'll soon, I don't think it's fair to expect too much in this game, Joshua, with regards to the style of play and the team just trying to adapt to what Russell Martin is trying to tell them. Again, the result is not important, folks. Would be saying the same thing if Rangers ran out 5-0 victors today, or indeed had lost by a heavy scoreline. It's all about getting minutes in the legs, of course, and building up to the big season kicking off. But very interesting lineup, it is fair to say. But I'm very much looking forward to the game. You looking forward to the game, Josh? It just feels like yesterday that the season finished Easter Road, but all of a sudden we're back again.
Do you know what I was saying to my better half who just cares nothing about football whatsoever. I was saying I'm actually quite looking forward to going into this season, and there's a lot of unknowns, but it's a bit different. There's something different's been tried. There's a style that I'm sure will have teething problems, but we've wanted for a long time and wondered what could Rangers be like if they actually commit to something over a long period of time. So there's potential, and it's refreshing to come here and have a little bit of, what's going to happen this season, as opposed to, we know what's going to happen this season and it's probably not going to be very good. And just finally, Xander Hutton, you're a man you've been calling for to be given a chance for months. Presume it's going to be Ridvan left back, Hutton right back, and Tavernier and Emmanuel Fernandez right centre back and left centre back.
Good shout,
we'll see in the second half, but that's what it looks like. And Josh Gentles as well, who can play up top. Bailey Rice, McCausland, Bayrami, Diamande. Anticipate they'll all come on in the second half, and it will almost be 2 starting 11s that you see today at Ibrox.
Yeah, the Club Brugge team, folks, and I'll probably butcher every one of these guys' name, apart from Simon Mignolet, who's the goalkeeper, but they go with Sabi Spiliers. Michele says Velison, Reese, Vanaken, Solis, Vermont, and Skoras. So that is how Club Brugge line up. No idea what formation. But
not one more quick one. Sorry, I keep interrupting you, but I'm on cloud 9 today. No Clinton and Ciala. So Rothwell and Asgard believed to be a bit behind fitness-wise, but we spoke about this at the start of this week, didn't we? Some murmurings that maybe you might see him go out on loan, and the fact that Jika, my understanding of that is it is really close to completion and could be announced tomorrow. Cody Rangers still working to bring him in. They've signed Fernandez. Suter's going to stay. Proper, you'd anticipate, will go out the door back to FC20 at some point. Ben Davies isn't in the squad today. But NCL is one we thought, will he impress in pre-season? Will he get an opportunity? He's been back training now, and he's not in the squad. So that's an interesting one, and just a player for people to keep their eyes on as well.
Other people are also asking about Lyle Cameron, Linden, and many others. He had that calf strain, didn't he? And he was not thought to be serious, but I'm sure they'll just be taking their time with him, which is the reason why he's not involved today. Yeah,
just a little bit behind by all accounts. Yeah. So nothing overly severe, but he'd been doing some individual training, we believe. So yeah, he's not in there either. And it's the Rangers don't have a pre-season game again here until I think Middlesbrough at time of speaking on the 26th. So we'll have full coverage for people. We'll be live after, and you can watch what Russell Martin had to say as well on the YouTube channel shortly after full time.
Yeah, well, also when we're back on as well, after the press conference, folks, we'll talk about some of the murmurings doing the rounds over the weekend. A number of players linked it with moves to Rangers. We'll talk about Tello Asgard as well, of course, who he was unveiled yesterday, wasn't it, when he was unveiled? So we'll speak about him as well. I'm excited to see him in action at some point, but it won't be today. So that team, Rangers, kicking off with Kelly, Aarons, King, Proper, Jefty, Raskin, Barrendill, Curtis, Cortez, and Danilo. Right, enjoy the game, folks. It's on Rangers TV. Still some people asking if the game is on the telly. It is on Rangers TV, so you can go and enjoy the match in your front room or wherever you are at this point in time. So there you go. We'll be back later on, depending on how long Russell Martin takes to come out and do the press conference and whatever player is put up as well from Rangers. And then we'll be back with you later on, folks. Right, score prediction, Joshua. How do you think it's going to go today?
I will say, I don't know. I think Club Brugge will probably win. How about that? They might. I think you'll see some tired legs from Rangers because that's something that Martin's been emphasising. But it doesn't matter, Derek. Does it? It's pre-season. It doesn't matter. What about you?
I've no idea how good Club Brugge are. I'm going to say 3-1 Rangers. So there you go.
Okay, we'll see. Yeah. We'll see if my half cup empty or your half full approach is right.
Yes. Right, folks. We'll speak to you later on. Bye for now.